Never on time podcast when it comes to the football world. Rob is in the building
Habitually,
as you
habitually, man.
habitually, dog. We will like figure out some type of consistent time. I promise. Right now, it's just not going to be the time, dog. As you can see, my house is a mess. I'm in the process of moving. I decided to move right in between Thanksgiving, bro. So I'm exhausted. So yeah, sooner or later we'll come to a consistent time. But like I was saying in the regular intro, this is the best football podcast brought to you by the best people in the world. I am your host, B.Herb, and I got my brother from another mother, Rodman, in the building, man. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. I've been enjoying these Thanksgiving leftovers. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a huge palate this year. We had the turkey. I made some cherry coke glazed ham, which actually came out pretty good. Jesse is a superstar with the Haitian Mac. I had mashed potatoes, a couple other things. Nothing big, nothing fancy, but it's lasting. Now we gotta spend no money eating out, no nothing. And of course, the Dolphins, won a football game, so I could watch football tomorrow stress free. So it works out.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it then, man. You guys are the participants of the first ever Black Friday football game, and you absolutely curb stomped the New York Jets 34-13, man. So let's go ahead and recap the game, bro. Just give me some of your thoughts on the game. How did you feel about it? How did you enjoy a Friday NFL game, sir?
So funny story, man. I was working on Friday. So when I got
Damn,
off,
dude. I was working too, dog. They got us by the balls in these guys, man. Fuck. For
I,
real.
I had I had the option, bro, but at the end of the day, like I know I need the money, right? So I was just like, Christmas is coming up, shit like that. So I said, let me put in hours. I work today too, but that's neither here nor there. I got to watch the second half live, and the rest of the game, I just watched the film today when I got home from work. But overall, I'm gonna start with the defense, Herbie, because I feel like it needs to be said. And first and foremost, what I'm saying, obviously, Dolphin fans, we are hurting because Jalen Phillips ruptured his Achilles. It looked bad. Hopefully, he'll be all right. It's the worst kind of injury, right? Like normally when athletes rupture their Achilles, it's usually a death sentence for them. Not like a death sentence, like they can never play again, but more so that they hardly ever, maybe like maybe more than 90% of the time, they never really get back to what they could be. And he was a young player, but hopefully that's in his favor and he could kind of get back to playing because Herbie, when you look at the way the defense has been playing, especially with Jalen Ramsey back, like since Jalen Ramsey's been in the lineup, they've been a top 5 defense, right? And Jalen Phillips, you could argue between Jalen Ramsey's the number one. He's our best player on defense. But you could argue the number two is between Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland. And I would lean towards Jalen Phillips, Herbie, because at the end of the day, he is the best, most purest edge rusher we have on our team. And he creates a lot of havoc. He's been having a great season. And it sucks to see him go. But, with that aside, I mean, it's listen, the Jets offense is about as putrid as you're going to see, right? Like they are a bad offense. But at the end of the day, you can only play who's on your schedule. And even when we played the Chiefs, the Miami defense has been really stout. They haven't given up too many drives. I mean, we only gave up one drive to the Jets, right? The other 6 points they got was from a Tua pick six, which I'll get to when I get to the offense. But I mean, just the way that we had 7 sacks, Herbie, 2 interceptions. And then the second the second pick. First of all, Javon Holland, Herbie, the 90. Did you see the highlight of that play of the 99-yard return?
I did see the highlight, man. It was the Jets, man. Like the Jets being maximum Jets,
Hey,
dog. Like
Kirk Herbstreit said the perfect thing. Kirk Herbstreit said, if there is a play that could personify the Jets season, that's it. He was
I,
100% right.
you're not supposed. That's never supposed to happen in that situation.
A
It's
Hail
silly to
Mary,
just
Herbie.
let that happen, bro. On a hail mary, half the Jets team was back 40 yards to prevent it from happening, bro. That was a signal to the offense. I mean, that was the offensive signal to the coaching staff, to ownership, to everybody involved on the higher level of the NY Jets that we don't care anymore. Fuck y'all for putting us in this position to where we had to sacrifice our body, mind, and spirit for 11 weeks with Zach Wilson and then now Tim Boyle. That's what they did with that one, dog. That was a team that was showing that they didn't care, bro. Because that
Oh,
never happens, dog. I've
it never
never
happened.
seen a pick six on a heave from a Hail Mary, bro. Embarrassing.
I mean,
Absolutely embarrassing.
listen, man, shout out to Javon for, actually making the play and realizing like, yo, you know what? I can actually take this to the house. Right. But to your point, Herbie, I mean, it's just such a poor effort, bro. And it's just, and here's the thing, all he had in front of him was linemen, right? Because all the receivers, all the fast guys were down the field. So once he had a beeline, bro, and Tim Boyle, he shook Tim Boyle with his lazy ass cut, nigga, his lazy ass. Hey, that shit had me cracking up, man. And then obviously on the second interception, Xavier Howard jumps the route, the ball pops up, and then Jerome Baker takes it down. So, the defense has been playing lights out. You know what I'm saying? The Vic Fangio hire, which, Dolphins fans were killing. You know what I'm saying? I had my doubts. I wasn't killing them early, but Herbie, I was kind of nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen, coaching hires not turn out to be what they were supposed to be, right? Like we've hired so many coaches over the year who are supposed to be offensive gurus and defensive gurus, and the team ended up just being the same, right? But Vic Fangio is he's living up to his end of the bargain. And even though we lost our best pass rusher, we have enough depth to where we'll be able to be somewhat a competent pass rushing team. And with Jalen Ramsey back there, with Nick Needham back in the lineup, Kader Kohu where he's supposed to be, Xavier Howard isn't what he used to be, but if he's covering your number twos most of the time, you'll be okay. So, the defense, Herbie, Jerome Baker, David Long, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer. I could just shout out everybody, man. They all been playing really well. And, and the offense, it's funny, Herbie, because I've seen like a lot of people, like a lot of Dolphins fans, I should say, crying about, oh, the offense didn't look that good. And it's just like, nigga, we put up, okay, the defense scored 7 of the points we had, but we put up 27 points on offense, Herbie, against a really good Jets defense. To Tua, listen, if there's any problem that you could have with Tua this season, Herbie, is that he's been throwing too many picks. He's been fumbling the ball too much. Even though the fumble on him in this game, I don't think was really his fault, but he gets accredited for the bad snaps and all that. Like those fall on him. And, in the stat sheet. And then, he threw the pick six. He had no business throwing that ball, Herbie. It was just one of those, just like, God, Tua, like, did you think you could throw the ball through the nigga, man? Like, I know you're an anticipation thrower, but you process usually pretty good, The second pick, I'm not even that mad about it, Herbie, because it was the end of the half, and that set up the 99-yard interception. It canceled it out for me. But outside of those mistakes, he played pretty well against a really good Jets defense in the first half. And in the second half, Herbie, we just ran the ball down their throats. We just controlled the clock. They had no answer for a running game with 3 offensive linemen out. And, the Dolphins, to me, at least, they showed that they're a complete football team. We could win in a variety of ways. The defense is catching up to the offense. And Mike McDaniel has become a lot more willing to lean on the running game, right? We have Mostert. Devon Achane didn't play this week, but I believe he's slated to come back next week. So we're not even at full strength there. And then we should hopefully get like Robert Jones, Robert Hunt. We should get some guys back next week on offensive line. So Herbie, the team's only going to get healthier from certain aspects. And listen, the Jets are a lousy division opponent. You know what I mean? The Jets muck up every game because their defense is good and their offense is terrible. So their defense can make good quarterbacks look mediocre, and their offense is so bad that it takes an incredibly bad defense or a defense to have an incredibly bad day to make them look good. So, it is what it is. But, I'm happy the Dolphins got the win. We're 8-3, and we're right where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? In the hunt for the number 1 seed.
I mean, yeah, and at the end of the day, bro, it's the NFL, dog. Like we've talked about this on the pod plenty of times, bro. There's no point in complaining about a win, bro. Win
Yeah.
ugly, win dominant, win pretty or cute. It doesn't
Listen,
matter,
I'll
bro.
take
This is not
the
college, bro.
ugliest win over the prettiest loss, Herbie. The
Absolutely.
Bills fans are still living off the prettiest loss ever. Like it has done nothing for them, dog. They're living off the prettiest loss of all time. It has done nothing for them. So I'll take
That
that
is pretty
win,
funny.
Herbie.
You
Yeah.
got to, bro. There's no BCS. There's no CBS. There's none of that shit, bro. There's no college football committee to where it's like, ooh, they learned that way and transitive wins do not matter in the NFL, bro. It's a ridiculous sentiment and it doesn't matter. But there is something to be said about your boy Tua acting like he is Brett Favre in '97 right now, dog. Like he is doing the J.R. Shumpert heat check in the NFL version. There's no reason for him to throw some of the picks that he throws, though. Like, I get it. It's just a part of his nature, and you got to deal with it. And the offense is so good that it doesn't come to bite you in the ass right now. But these are things that he can't be doing in the playoffs, right?
Bro,
Because
I mean, listen, it seems like he throws pick sixes to New York teams, and we won't see any New York teams in the playoffs. So,
absolutely not. You're definitely not seeing that for sure, bro. You're
oh
definitely not
shit.
seeing that, man. But let's go ahead and transition over to the rest of the games that were on Thanksgiving, bro. The rest of the Turkey Day games, bro. So, the games were the Packers and the Lions, the Washington Commanders and the 49ers, and the Seahawks. I mean, the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys, I'm sorry, and the Seahawks and the 49ers, bro. So let's start with the Packers and Lions, man. Woo, Packers, you blew a lot of tickets on Thursday, man.
I almost bet,
Jared
man. I almost had money on
Goff,
them, Herbie. I almost put money on them boys. Thank God I didn't. Really on the
bro,
Lions.
bro. Listen, I like the Lions a lot. I still very, very bullish on the Lions, right? However, you are starting to see something that we talked about last week. But Rob, we are Nostradamuses when it comes to this football shit, dog. Like we literally said, well, what we try to do on this podcast, bro, we try to say, hey, let's push back and remember somebody's career. We did that with Matt Stafford, where we say, yeah, they won the Super Bowl. He went to the Lions. We talked about the trade between the Lions and the fucking and the Rams for Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, and we talked about both of their flaws as quarterbacks, right?
Right.
What did I say last week? I said Jared Goff is fine if Jared Goff remembers who Jared Goff is, right? And I actually gave him credit for being somebody who understood who he finally is as a quarterback. For whatever reason, Jared Goff's lost his goddamn mind, dog. He want to be Michael Vick now, dog. For
Bro.
whatever reason, when Jared Goff wants to be Michael Vick, you saw what happened against the Packers. You saw the terrible fumbles. You saw the bad decision making. You saw the bad ball management, right? And even with that, they still had a chance to win. It
Right.
was 29-22. There was opportunity to go for a game-winning drive, and he literally threw the ball away, right?
Right.
So if I'm the Lions, as much as I like Jared Goff and as much as he's been steady and he has helped get us to the point that we are now, you're never going to win with this dude, bro. Sean McVay saw it. You feel me? The Ford family saw it. The Ford family who owns the actual Detroit Lions. They saw it. They know. Jared Goff knows too. When he looks in the mirror, bro, he knows he's not a winner. He knows. He sees it, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And
sure he still has nightmares of that Super Bowl, putting up 3 points. I'm
he
sure.
he
100%.
Brian Flores is his Saw. Like, you know, Saw, like the Saw mask? That's who Brian
You want to
Flores
play
is,
a
bro.
game?
That's who Brian Flores is to Jared Goff, dog. He's horrified of that dude, bro. So, yeah. And Jared Goff, you can't have both of those games back to back, right? Now, granted, the flip side of that, you feel me? And again, I'm not no Lions fan. This ain't a Lions podcast, so we're not gonna go too in depth into it. The flip side is, all right, maybe Jared Goff got it out of his system. If you're gonna have those two bad games, have them now. You're gonna be in the playoffs. There's a strong possibility that you might have the number two seed. So you would rather Jared Goff get these things out of his system. He get his heat check, his Tua Tagovailoa hit check moments out right now, right? But with that said, it still showed that the Lions are still a good football team because they had no business getting that close, right? They were able to pull themselves out of the pits of hell last week. And in
Right.
the NFL, you don't get two of those.
Nah.
Like
Not back to back.
not back to back, right? So
Yeah.
that's really the only game I had time to actually watch. So how did you feel about the first game before we move on to the other two games?
I mean, Herbie, I share a lot of your same sentiments. I mean, I will say that when it comes to golf, like I was, like you, Herbie, I've never been like a big Jared Goff guy, but he's I've watched film on him in recent seasons, especially this year. He's been playing well for the most part. He's in a slump, right? Like player slump, right? Like obviously we've seen the heights that he could take you to when he has a good situation around him. Can he take you over the hump? Can he complete it, right? Jimmy G with the 49ers was able to get to a Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, he can never make the play. If you're waiting on Jared Goff to make the play, he hasn't done it yet. But maybe, you know what I'm saying? You never know, right? If you're a Lions fan. So At the end of the day, I would like to give at least some credit to the Packers, right? Because I had the Packers dead in the water, and they're still probably not going to make the playoffs. Although the NFC is kind of muddied, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Jordan Love, Herbie, I'll say this, man. I don't see special from him. He looks like he could be all right. He looks like he could be a solid quarterback, but I feel safe in saying that the Packers aren't going to hit 3 times in a row. I just don't see that from him. He could be a good quarterback, but I don't see Aaron Rodgers. I don't see Brett Favre. I don't see Hall of Famer.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's what my main takeaways from the game as well, dog. When it comes to the Packers, right? Like he's gotten better. He's not as bad as he was because I've seen people that were trying to write him off. And listen, man, at this this point in time, bro, we're at such a desperation for just solid quarterback play, bro. They were like, "Fuck it, I'll take Jordan, bro." All right, game two of the Thanksgiving games, bro. Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys. They who shall not be named, the whoever, the boys, them boys, whatever you want to call them fucking bastards, dog. Freaking demolished the Washington Redskins 45-10.
Commander.
Uh Washington, bro. I'm just gonna call them the football team, bro. I don't care about the
That's
Commanders,
a safe bet,
Commandos.
right?
Yeah, bro. I can't remember this shit, bro. I'm fucking tired, man. I can't remember this shit. Like for real, dog. But yeah, so my team, we dominated the Washington Commandos. And that was the biggest surprise to nobody, dog. Dak turned into Peyton Manning against a bad team, bro. Like, get these guys out of my face, man. I'm like, okay, bro. Shout out to Deron Blando. I am actually legitimately happy for him, for sure. For him actually breaking the record. That is an insane record. It's stood for 45 years, I think. 5 pick sixes in the season in 11 games.
And he had 2 back to back.
That is that is Rod Woodson, Ed Reed territory, bro. Like in this NFL where we are making sure that we coach these players away from those kind of decisions, which is why you don't see anybody have these kind of pick sixes anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that Ed Reed or anybody in the past were playing worse players. It's just the chances are not there anymore, right? Like, you're not going to get the same amount of opportunities to make these kind of plays. Right. So that's the part that's so impressive is that for whatever reason, this dude has a magnet to the football, dog. Like, I don't know if he was with Dr. X, bro. Like, you know, he was hanging with Magneto. He was like, how do I make sure I
Sticky
get the ball
fingers, man. Sticky
bro,
fingers,
it
man.
Is insane.
You know what's crazy, Herbie? You know what's crazy, Herbie? There's a universe where Trevon Diggs doesn't get hurt, and you have one of the best secondaries in fucking football. Yes. I mean, Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland, and then you have fucking Trevon Diggs. Bro, when your third corner can cover some number ones, nigga, like, bro, who's throwing on you? With the pass rush that you have.
That is why this is the most annoying thing about it when it comes to being a fan of this team and how maddening it is that say what you want about Jerry Jones. The dude has been drafting his ass off recently, bro. We got Deron Bland in the 5th round. 5th round cornerbacks are not supposed to be that good. Not as a rookie, right? Like, there are certain positions where if you get them in a certain round, they're not gonna be good because there's just not that many of them, right? Like, Trevon Diggs was, I think, a 2nd round pick. He's playing like a top 10 pick. Right. Deron Bland was a 5th round pick. He's playing like a top 5 pick. Offensive linemen and cornerbacks, if you're getting them in the 5th round and you're hoping that they're supposed to do something, bro, good luck, dog. You're going to give up a lot of sacks or you're going to give up a lot of yards, bro. Like,
you're going to have a lot of tears. That's what we're going to have.
You're going to have a lot of tears for sure. It. So, yeah, Jerry Jones has been doing his thing, dog. And I don't really have too much to say about the game because it wasn't that much of a game. It was just another blowout. It was another non-competitive game in a season of non-competitive games, and we'll get to that in towards my closing thoughts. And I'll tie everything together. But the game itself, I mean, we seen who Zach Sam Howell is, bro. He's the sack sponge, like you say, dog. We seen who Dak Prescott is, which is 90 or 2004 Peyton Manning. If the team is below 500, bro, that wasn't surprising, dog. So, I don't know what to take away from the game, bro. It was the two teams did exactly what they were supposed to do when they match up against each other, bro. So that's my only thoughts on it. Anything for you, bro?
Well, yeah, Herb. I mean, games like that are really hard to have analysis on because it was such a one-sided performance, right? And the one thing that the Washington is supposed to do well, what you do well, which is defense, completely obliterated that. Like they had, Sam Howell is the sack eater, man. So obviously, at the end of the day, bro, the Cowboys were the worst possible matchup for a guy like that,
Man,
right?
listen, bro. The easiest bet I've had in the past 5 years was Micah Parsons 1.5 sacks, bro. I should have put my whole mortgage on that, dog. I knew that was gonna happen. That was the easiest bet of the
Especially
year,
against the
bro.
Commanders, bro.
That was the easiest bet of the year, dog. I got that shit in the first quarter, man. I was like, ooh, yes, yes, that's a hit.
If there's any thought I have about the Dallas game, Herbie, and it's just funny to me, it might be funny to you, but the Dolphins and the Cowboys play each other week 16, and we both have very similar MOs, right? We thrash bad teams and we haven't looked our best against good teams, but somebody has to lose that game.
Somebody has to lose that game, bro. And
Somebody has to lose that game. So that game is going to be real interesting to be Herbie because the Dolphins
listen,
we don't play a good team until we play y'all. Like we don't.
listen. I That's y'all mo this year. This is our mo for Dak's entire career. Like they even said it on the broadcast. Dak against NFC East teams on Thanksgiving at the time was 3-0. He's now 4-0. Dak against non NFC East teams on Thanksgiving, he's 0-3. Like
He averages out, dog.
he is who he is. He is the best quarterback of all time if the team is not good, bro. Like Dak will dominate you if you're incompetent, dog. If there's the slightest chance of resistance, bro, we lose. And I just have no faith in us actually being anything than who we've been my entire fandom, which is good, but not good enough, dog. Like, I am at the point where I have come to terms with who I truly believe Dak Prescott to be, which is the hood version of Kirk Cousins, dog. That's all, bro. He's the black Kirk Cousins, dog.
He's
That's who he
second
is to
cousin,
me.
huh? Yeah, that's what he
He's
is.
second cousins, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't care. Like I said, bro, my entire opinion of anything they do this season is, I don't care. Like nothing shorter than winning a Super Bowl. That's where I am at. So I can't compare us to you guys, right? To me, it's just it's a circumstance that you guys haven't had your best games against teams that's winning.
Right,
That doesn't mean that's your identity.
right.
That is our identity, bro. So if I had to bet who's going to win that game, I gotta bet you guys, dog. You guys are doing this year. We are doing this for our entire lives, bro. So yeah, dog.
You funny, man.
That's how I feel about it, bro. That's how I feel about it, man.
Shout out to the homies Adrian and Dom, man, who showed up in the chat, man.
Man, shout out to them, dog. Whatever. I'm trying to see what they got, dog. It's not giving me their comments and shit on my end, bro.
Oh yeah, I
Is they
seen that.
new?
That boy Adrian, well, he said this back when we were talking about the Dolphins. He said the boy played murder ball growing up, and it showed on that pick six about Javon Holland.
Yeah,
And
dog.
then
Which is crazy how you seeing that shit. I'm not seeing shit.
Dom just said, "Yo." Dom just said, "Yo." Yeah, it's popping
It's
up on my
fine.
shit. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it ain't
popping up.
popping on mine. It's fine, bro. It's fine. All right, man. Last thing though, you got anything on the 49ers and Seahawks game?
No, I mean, if there's anything that's the game I probably watched the least, but from what I gathered from it, man, every time I looked at the Seahawks, man, Geno Smith was having he didn't have his best day, which the 49ers defense is pretty good for. Listen, man, it's funny because we had our mutual homie, our brother Gerson, here earlier, and he was talking about Brock Purdy and how he agrees with Nick Wright about Brock Purdy. And it's like I feel people when it comes to Brock Purdy, right? But at the end of the day, Herbie, as long as if he can do what all he needs to do is what Kyle Shanahan needs him to do. When the time comes for him to make the play, if he can make it, he'll be a champion, Herbie, because the 49ers are just that good of a team.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
But we'll have to see when that time comes. We know he's a great regular season quarterback. So, and to Dom's point, which he just popped up, he said adding Chase on the other side of Bosa has been paying off. Of course it has, right? Like Chase Young has something to play for, and he's not the main guy. They have tons of depth on that D line. He was just an added bonus. So when you look at what the 49ers have on both offense, they did lose Hufunga for the season. He got hurt. But their secondary is not even their front seven is is really where they're
Yeah,
talented.
that's where
So
that's where the talent is and whatnot. So, all
so
right, man. All right, let's next topic, man. All right, so like I said, I've been moving. I haven't had time to really divulge into it, Rod. So, you guys like being the first Black Friday contestants. You are the first in-season Hard Knocks participants, bro. So go ahead and give me and everybody else in the Phin Outta fandom and community your review on the first episode of the in-season Hard Knocks, my boy.
listen, man, I didn't really know how to feel going into it, right? Like, I've watched Hard Knocks before, other teams. I caught a little bit of the Jets this season. I watched the previous Dolphins Hard Knocks when Tannehill was a rookie. But I'm gonna say, Herbie, I really, really enjoyed it, Herbie. I think the Dolphins as a team, we have a really good group of personalities, right? Like Mike McDaniel's unlike any head coach you ever seen. And I'm a Dolphin fan, so I eat up all the media watching his interviews and shit. Like I think Mike is hilarious. Herbie, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I have never liked the coach this much. Like he is my favorite coach in the history of my lifetime because I was too young to understand Don Shula's greatness because I was a kid in the '90s. So throughout my life, I had Wanstead, Herbie, I had Cam Cameron, I had Sperano, rest in peace. I had Adam Gase, Joe Philbin. We've had all these fucking bums, dog. And Mike McDaniel, not only does he have just this cool personality, this dry humor, but he's a really intellectual guy. And you can tell when you watch the Hard Knocks, Herbie, that the team is behind this nigga. Like he has created a good culture and a good environment for the team. And he allows everybody to be themselves. And you see it, right? Like you see they show Tua, you know what I'm saying, being comfortable with the team. You see that the offensive line, they have dinners every Monday to build camaraderie. They showed a lot of the offensive players in the first episode. Maybe we'll see more of the defensive guys, especially with Jalen Phillips being hurt in the next episode. But you got to see Tyreek's personality, how he's grown. They showed a lot of Tua and Tyreek and McDaniel. You really the three, like the big three of our team when you really think about it. So Herbie, man, I really enjoyed it, man. They had a dramatic showing of the Raiders game. They showed a lot of love to Max Crosby, and I really like that they did that they did that. So it was good, man. I enjoyed it, bro. Like I'm looking actually forward to seeing more of it. I'm wondering how much it's going to affect the play. It hasn't affected us so far, right? We're 2-0 since we started doing it. So, it may not affect it as much. But I liked it, man. And Herbie, there's a speech that one of our coaches has when he talks about that ass whooping is a universal language. He's this Italian ass nigga. It's fucking hilarious, bro. It's one of the funniest speeches I ever seen somebody have, dog. Like the nigga just talks about ass whooping is a universal language. If you're in Germany and you see somebody getting an ass whoop, everybody understands that shit. That shit's fucking hilarious, bro. I think the Dolphins have a good group of personalities, and I think it'll make for an entertaining season. And hopefully these niggas actually kind of do something with the spotlight and have a deep playoff run to really get this thing going.
I mean, shit. I wanted to tune in, bro. I got to find. All right, spoiler alert, and not really a spoiler, but I got to find a way how to, hack into a HBO Max or Max. You feel me? So, I ain't really plugged in right now, so might have to go on one of them sites. Yeah, feel me? But yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna be tuning in, bro. While you were doing that soliloquy, dog, I've been trying to find that Austin Eckler run, bro. I just wanted to put it on the screen, Rob. When I tell you. It is the funniest video that NFL has ever produced. Dog, it's the funniest video. Bro,
Holy
I've been
shit.
laughing at this for a week, for 7 straight days, watching this nigga Austin Eckler run for his life and go nowhere, dog.
Bro, he was in molasses, bro. He was in molasses, bro.
So while I try to find that video, bro, to throw it on, because I need the people to realize how funny this is, man. Let's go ahead and get into this last topic for the day. So because we do a recap show right now, which we do prefer. Like we were saying, hey, you want to do a preview show, or you want to do a recap show, right? We ultimately settled on a recap show because that's I think it's better. We have more things to talk about. We can actually break down the games, but one of the things that we don't have is the ability to bring out the parlay boys, man. Sometimes we got to do it for the parlay boys, man.
The parlay
I
boys. Let's go.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Everybody in the world is betting on football. Like people I know who don't know shit about football are betting on football because of this
Bro,
Hard Rock app, dog. Like I'm
bro.
seeing people posting their stories, their parlays everywhere, bro. Random
Oh,
motherfuckers. I'm like,
Herbie, let
you
me tell you
too?
something. I know it was bad when my sister and her friends, like, bro, Herbie, they're discussing tickets. They're going on like WhatsApp groups where like guys are giving picks. Like, like this shit's an epidemic, bro. Like they don't know the monster they've created with this sports betting, dog. Like, and we was on that shit years ago. Like, we've been on that shit. But to see like how the other world, like to see how the world has just come bum rushing this shit, like, and you know what it is, Herbie? People know people personally who don't put $5 on a ticket and brought back 8-9 bands. So when you know somebody personally
Yeah, yeah,
who
for
don't
sure.
hit on like a big ticket, you just think to yourself like, oh, this is just another form of like playing a scratch off for a lottery. Oh, Herbie,
This is
it's
really what it is, and
wow.
and so I'm gonna compare this to when the world made it legal, or not the world, just America made it legal in some states to, for recreational marijuana, where the minute it became okay, you realize what was ever the issue,
Right.
right? And it's the same thing with legalized sports betting, right? Now, granted, we OGs, we've been doing this. There is something to it, that little back alleyness to it, to where
Yeah.
you're a degenerate. So yeah, I don't want you guys being able to do this, right? I
This
like
new
I like
wave.
I
This new
like
wave.
feeling like I am a piece of shit who has a problem, a systemic problem that I can't control, bro. So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And,
You know
and,
what I'm
and, and Herbie Dom has a comment. He goes, "Got my middle school students talking about parlay. I fear for the future, dog."
saying?
Damn. Yeah, Herbie, imagine, bro. When we was in middle school, we was talking about Dragon Ball Z,
We were
man.
talking
These
about
just talk
Dragon
about
Ball Z and
they
and,
talk
and,
about
and, and Super
parlays.
Saiyan 7, bro. We wasn't talking
Oh,
about parlays, man.
that's
Like, what?
wild, bro.
Nah, middle school kids should not be talking about parlays, man. But one time for the parlay boys, man. This
One
segment is
time, one
called
time, one
Parlay
time, one
Boys because
time.
we do have the opportunity to look at the betting lines, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So while we are, let's look at that together, man, as a unit, bro. Bada bing, bada boom, man.
Yes,
So
sir. It's been a little
let me
minute since we
see.
did this too.
Absolutely, dog. Definitely been a little minute, bro. So, I am on thelines.com. They have the Caesar Sportsbook, Bet MGM, FanDuel, DraftKings. They got them all, right? So this is as concrete as it's gonna get. So right there off the bat, we got Carolina, Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans are a 3.5 favorite. Man, who you liking at that one, brother?
Man, to be honest, this wouldn't be a game I put on my ticket because when two bad teams play, it's always a super unpredictable game. But I'd probably lean towards Tennessee just being the home team. And I think I like how Will Levis has looked a little better than Bryce Young, even though he's had a lot more limited time. And I think the Tennessee team is just better in terms of just like whatever talent they have left. Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel, the coach. I'll give Tennessee the edge. I don't see Carolina really overcoming them at home.
Me too, man. When it comes to Carolina, dog, like ironically, the one win that they have doesn't make any sense, especially when you see who that team, which is the team right below them, have beaten this year, dog. Yeah, I Carolina is
Football.
one of them. You gonna have to take my money teams, bro. That's what we call them, dog. You just gonna have to beat me. I'm sorry. You just gonna
Right.
have to take my money, bro. So I'm riding with Tennessee, dog. I'm gonna skip over Houston and Jacksonville because I want to have a little more of an in-depth conversation. So we'll come back to them, dog. Ooh, bro. Here's this the one right here, man. This the heavyweight battle, baby.
Woo.
This the who
Me,
gonna get that pick
you.
bowl right here, man.
Ugh, what an ugly, disgusting game, man. Oh,
Do you know how bad you have to be if Bailey Zappi is getting 3.5 points as the starting quarterback against the team, dog?
it's Tommy
Like
DeVito starting, Herbie. That's all I need to know.
Tommy DeVito is going to be starting. Daniel
I'll take
Jones is
DeVito over Bailey any day, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm taking the judgy boy, nigga.
Dog.
Fuck
So here's
that.
the funny thing about this game, bro. Neither fan base wants to win this because
Neither.
this is going to be most likely the pick for the number 2 or number 1 pick. The fan base that wins this is going to be irate, right? So let me take you back. Let's go back in time. Let's go back 4 years. Would it be 4 years? Would it be 4 years? This is 4 years because this is Trevor Lawrence's 4th year. Let's go back 4 years or third year. Sorry, let's go back 4 years when the Jets had an opportunity to finish the season defeated, not undefeated, defeated, which means they win no games. But for whatever reason, Greg Williams, who was the defensive coordinator at the time, had the bright idea of the opposite team that they were playing to send an all-out blitz. They lose that game instead of finishing with the first overall pick to get Trevor Lawrence, who they had. They were projected to have that first overall pick the entire season. They win that game. The Jaguars get the first pick, and the rest is history.
Yep.
I get it. We can't expect the players on the field to throw the games, right? They can't. They're mentally they just can't do it. You get yourself hurt trying to throw a game and not playing at full speed. But if you know that, then you have to put the worst possible team out there to ensure that you lose, dog.
Absolutely.
Or you end up
100%.
with Zach Wilson,
Ugh.
which is what the Jets did. That decision to win that game has altered their franchise for the next 15 years. One play has drastically changed their future. Trevor
Crazy.
Lawrence should be a New York Jet. Trevor Lawrence should be in your division. But one selfish play by a defensive coordinator changed two franchises' trajectory for the next 10 to 15 years. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Somebody has
Couldn't
to
happen
lose this
to a
game.
better team, Herbie. That's why couldn't happen to a better team, man. Sorry,
Somebody
Jets, man.
has
You
to
gotta
lose
eat it.
this game.
Somebody.
And one fan base is going to lose it by winning. You're going to see the angriest fan base you could imagine for winning a game, bro. And that's the ramifications of this game. This is not a 3.5 point spread right here, Rod. This is a 10-year decade spread. Whoever wins this game, bro.
When you Herbie, honestly, when you put it like that, man, give me the Patriots, man. Go ahead, take that W. Go ahead, Pats. Cover that 3.5, man. Please.
Shit, man.
Please.
Okay. All right. New Orleans, Atlanta, man. Shout out to your boy Arthur Smith, man. Arthur Smith is doing a masterclass on how to destroy the future of talented young players, bro. At a variety of positions. He destroyed a young, talented tight end. Then he said, "You know what? Let me show you what I'm really about."
It's not enough, man.
It's not enough. Let me show you how to destroy a young, talented wide receiver. And then his Mona Lisa, his crumb de la crumb, his masterpiece was like, how do I destroy the best running back prospect we've had since LaDainian Tomlinson? Watch this. And this dude he is on a different level, Rod. He is on a different level, man. So shout out to Arthur Smith. I just wanted to say that, man. But in that game, who do you like in that game, bro?
I mean, it's another game between two teams that you can't really trust, but I feel more comfortable money lining the Saints for that game. I feel like they just have a little bit more control, more grasp of their situation, as opposed to the Falcons, who are just a really up and down team. And I guess New Orleans is the definition of that, but I like a lot of their talent more, especially on defense, than the Falcons.
All right, let's speedball through this so we can get back to the Jags and Texans, bro. So rapid fire, man. Pitt, Cincinnati,
Pittsburgh.
Tampa Bay, Indianapolis Colts, my boy.
Who's playing Minshew or Richardson? We don't know, huh?
No, Richardson's still out. Richardson's out for the whole year.
Oh, he's out for the whole year?
Yeah. He had surgery on the shoulder.
Oh, okay. Then shit, I still might go with the Colts, man, because the Bucks be so suspect. You know what? For my Tampa Bay people, let's go Bucks, man. Let's go.
All right, shout out to the Bucks, man. Cleveland, Denver. This is a tough one. For whatever, we're at a point where we're doing a complete 180 on the Denver Broncos, dog.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, this was never. Even if you had DHT, Horton Thompson, there was no way that they would have been favored, and now they're favored. They won 4 straight, bro. So who do you like?
I think I gotta go with Cleveland just because their defense has just been so dominant, and defense travels. Herbie, the number one defense. I know, obviously, it's Russell Wilson against the backup, and he's been playing really well to his credit. Like he has definitely played a lot better. He hasn't. I get the people who big up Russ and oh, well, y'all was talking all that shit about Russ. Like he's not playing great,
He's
but
not playing great.
he's not playing great, but he's definitely looking more like a much more competent quarterback this year. I'll give credit where credit's due, but he's still. I mean, against lesser defenses, he hasn't looked that good, and I don't know what he's gonna. I don't know what the Broncos are gonna do against this defense. Their defense has been playing great, so they have that in their favor. But in the games where two great defenses have played, like the Browns against the Ravens, the Browns against the Niners, they've come out on top. So I would lean more towards Cleveland in this game.
All right. Rams, Cardinals.
Kyler Murray's back, man, and that makes a bit of a difference when it comes to these two teams. I think I'll rock with the Cardinals, man.
You got the Cardinals. All right, cool. I mean, ooh, yeah, I'm going with Cardinals, dog. I just have this perpetual beef with Matt Stafford that I can't let go, bro. So I'm gonna bet against that bozo anytime I can, bro. So yeah, man, I'll take the Cardinals, dog. All right, Buffalo and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are a 3-point favorite, man. 4:25 p.m. Who you like?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I'll probably ride with the Eagles. I want the Eagles to lose, Herbie, because like ever since we played the Eagles in that game, and I felt like the officiating hosed us, and I seen how their fans and no shade thrown, they're a great football team, Herbie. Obviously, they got one loss, but like I was praying, I was like rooting for the Chiefs. It was in our best interest for the Chiefs to lose, and I was still rooting for the. But at the end of the day, is I can't root for the Bills, Herbie. Like I need the Eagles to beat these niggas because that'll only further the gap between the division title for us, dog. So I'm definitely gonna ride with, and I think the Eagles have a really good chance of winning this game. I think they'll cover. I think they could cover against the Bills. They won't blow the Bills out because the Bills don't get blown out. But the way Josh Allen's play has been really sporadic, and I think the Bills are gonna have trouble playing against this Philly team at home.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not even. We don't even gotta talk about Kansas City, Las Vegas. Let's be for real, bro. We're a serious organization here, bro. All right, Baltimore and the Chargers. The Baltimore Ravens are a 3-point favorite. The Chargers are a 3-point underdog. The Chargers find a way to lose by one possession like I have never seen. At the frequency that they're able to do it is they are the most consistently inconsistent team of my entire lifetime, dog. So, how do you feel about this game, Rod?
The funny thing is, Herb, you got two really of the top young quarterbacks in football, two top 10 guys. So whenever you get those matchups, you could always feel good about it. But man, the way the Ravens defense plays football, I think the Chargers are in trouble in this game, Herbie. I want to pick the Chargers, Herbie, because there's a part of me, even though I have no reason to, there's a part of me that wants to believe they can somehow sneak into the playoffs, dog. Like, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think Herbert's a really good quarterback. I don't know what it is. But with Brandon Staley as their coach going up against one of the best coaches in John Harbaugh, just the coaching matchup itself is a mismatch. The quarterbacks cancel out, but when you look at the teams, the Baltimore defense plays much better than the Chargers defense. And listen, even without Mark Andrews, the Chargers defense gives everybody a career day. And the Ravens have enough on offense for Lamar to work with. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think Justin Herbert and the offense keep it close, but I think it's just going to be another sad day for the Chargers, man. I expect the Ravens. I would probably buy points on that game. I think 3 might be a little too close, but I'm going with the Ravens though for sure if you go money line.
Okay. All right, man. All right. So I like everything. I'm with you on everything, bro. Like I don't have any pushback at all, bro. So let's go back to this game right here, right? And to me, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans, this isn't just a game that's a division game. This has more significance, right? And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm the petty king. This is just gonna give me the opportunity to kick Trevor Lawrence's ass while he's down, bro. Bro, the way I got to flip flop with this fucking bozo Trevor Lawrence, dog, like this beef is eternal, dog. I'm with it for life. We beefing for life, dog. But in all seriousness, though, right? Trevor Lawrence it bothered me when we called Trevor Lawrence a generational prospect. I watched Trevor Lawrence every single game that he played at Clemson, right?
Right.
And in fairness to Trevor Lawrence, the minute he left Clemson, they went right, like they
Yeah.
went
Down
down
the
the fucking
drain.
drain.
Quick.
So
Quick.
he definitely had a significant impact on the team, on their ascension. Like, as much as I don't love how he was viewed coming out, he won the national championship as a rookie. I mean, as a freshman, right? Like, I can't take that away from him. So he
Facts.
obviously had a positive impact on the Clemson Tigers. But I never loved Trevor Lawrence. I said I like him. I think he's good. But this generational prospect business, I didn't see it. If you said anything negative about Trevor Lawrence, bro, you were hounded. You were treated like a leper. But we're seeing what the generational prospect at quarterback does for a team the first year out, instantaneously. And we're seeing that with somebody who wasn't even viewed as the best quarterback in his own draft. Like, we are at a point where we are paying people a lot of money to not know what the fuck they're talking about, not know what the fuck they're watching, and not know what the fuck they're saying, bro.
It's crazy. It's so crazy, bro.
It's ridiculous.
It's
It's
so crazy.
ridiculous. When somebody's actually that dude, we don't make excuses for them because they rise to the occasion. They enhance people. They become force multipliers. Trevor Lawrence, yes, he had Urban Meyer. I get that, right? But I heard people saying that we should just throw away his first season. His second season is really his rookie season. I've heard people say that in defense of him because they just needed to have something to say to defend him because they didn't want to be wrong about him.
Right.
Ultimately, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback, and he hasn't been a great quarterback. And all I hear, even up to this point now, I think he has 11 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, dog. Like, this dude is playing mid as mid could be. Like, he's talented. In fairness to him, he's better than his stats will say he is. But great quarterbacks don't have stats like that.
Yeah.
If you're that dude,
Especially with his level of talent.
thank you. I'm watching CJ Stroud turn Tank Dell into Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah.
Nico Collins is a brand name. Nico Collins is a brand name now, bro. Like,
Yep.
Dom lives in Houston. Dom could speak to what CJ Stroud is doing to that community. Like, and we're seeing what you're supposed to be if you're that dude. And we never know who that dude is, bro. Like, nobody knows anything, dog. Like, nobody knows anything, bro.
Right.
I'm hearing people saying swap CJ Stroud with the Panthers. They would be better because he's that dude, man.
Right.
Like, he won a game, or I think he threw for 300 something yards with 3 missing linemen, dog. Hey,
I think it was against the Jags too.
come on,
I think it
man.
was against the Jags, who have a good defense, by the way.
So I just wanted to bring that point up because now him coming around has been such a revelation because we have to reevaluate these dudes and the excuses that we make for people when they're not performing the way that we expect them to perform as rookie quarterbacks, right? And I feel people are going to say, oh, you can't compare them to CJ Stroud. And I'm going to say, why not? That's what we're supposed to be comparing him to. He was a top 5 pick. That's what it's actually supposed to look like. That's what you are trading up your draft capital to.
To your point, Herbie, CJ Stroud is the perfect example of when you pick a guy top 5, what you would hope he would be when you draft him. An instant force multiplier. You know what I'm saying? Some guys do take a year or two, maybe third year is normally when you know for sure. But CJ Stroud, off the rip, you know what you have. 15 plus years of quality fucking quarterback play, Herbie. Great quarterback play. A guy who you could win, a guy who's gonna go out and get you wins.
Like, absolutely,
it's
absolutely, awesome. Man. All right, man. While we were doing that, Rod, I actually found the play, dog. I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited, dog. I'm so happy.
Here he is, out here and ready to go.
Look,
third.
Look at this. Dog, I could watch this on a loop, Rod,
Bruh.
forever. I could
Hey,
watch.
hey, when
Oh,
that nigga looks back, bro, it's like,
no, that's
damn,
the
bro.
funniest part, bro.
Hey, that
There,
nigga.
bro. Let's dissect this, dog. Let's dissect this, Rod. Let's dissect this, bro. So let's dissect this play, dog. Hold on, I'm trying to
Ready to go.
You see, right here, right at this moment, right, he thinks he's about to score a touchdown, dog. He could feel it. He knows it, bro. And then he keeps running. He's not. And right there, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm not going fast at all."
Oh shit,
Dog,
bro.
Rod, I'm telling you, bro. I've been laughing at this shit for a week,
Baked
7
chicken,
days
dog.
straight.
Baked chicken, nigga. Straight up.
Dog,
Baked
this
chicken,
is
dog.
this is such a
Damn.
the Chargers are so unserious. They're so unserious.
Oh
It's
shit.
such an unserious organization, dog.
Crazy.
Hold
dog.
on, one more time, bro. One more time, dog. Right here, man. That boy. This is a touchdown for 99.9% of everybody else in the NFL at that position, dog. This is Eddie Lacy shit right here, dog. This is ridiculous, bro. There's no reason why this shouldn't be a touchdown, dog. And right, look at this. Look at the separation. He has them dead to rights, dog.
Bro. That's a home run, dog. But for him, Herbie. Oh,
bro, but
shit.
by far is that's the funniest part where he realized I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It just caught up to him, Herbie. It's not even about angles. It's not even about angles, Herbie. They caught up to him. That's the fucked up part. Like, they just caught up to him. Like,
oh
damn.
my God.
That's crazy.
Oh
man.
shit. All right, man. Oh my God. Bro, Rod, that is a gift. That is truly a gift, dog. This is up there with the butt fumble for me. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, dog. I can't laugh at this shit enough, man. All right, man. All right, man. Closing thoughts, man.
Closing thoughts, man. Go ahead, man.
All right, so closing thoughts for this week. I don't know if you have any. If you do, go ahead and get yours off because this might take a little while for everything I want to go ahead and talk about, bro. So,
the only closing thoughts I would have for this week, Herbie, and I might be in the minority of this, but I'm actually kind of happy that defense has caught up to the offense a little bit. I think, like, for example, like when I was watching the Chiefs and Eagles game, like I was happy to see like good defense. I'm someone who used to enjoy those Ravens Steelers, fucking the 2010s when the Seahawks and 49ers would play. Like, I'm a huge fan of defensive slobber knockers, bro. Not bad football games. There's a difference. There's good defensive games, and then there's just bad football. There's been plenty of bad football. I'm not gonna say that we're in like this great new era of defense, but what I do like is that defenses have found ways to disrupt these new age offenses, and I think that's better for the league, despite all the limitations and the restrictions that defenders have, compared to what they used to back in the day. Defenses have found schemes. They found ways. They started drafting certain types of athletes. They have found ways to counter this new wave of offense. And we're gonna see how offenses adjust. Obviously, there's ebbs and flows to this. But I'm cool with it, Herbie. I'm cool with scores not all being 40 to fucking 35. Like, I'm cool with a 20 to 17 game if there's some good football. You know what I'm saying? Because football there's two sides of the ball. And, those guys get paid too. So I'm happy to see that defenses have actually found like a steady ground with offenses.
Nah, and it's ironic that you say that, bro, because my closing thoughts actually coincide with that 100%. You would have thought that we actually talked about this, which we didn't.
Right.
So
Right.
So my closing thoughts are on the heels of Tom Brady's interview on Stephen A. Smith's show, right? And we see the headlines, and basically, and his sentiment was that NFL is mediocre. And to your point about defenses catching up, a large part about the reason why the defense is catching up is because the NFL product on the offensive end is mediocre, right? Now, granted, I think that was going to happen anyway, but the fact that we have so many bad quarterbacks in the NFL right now, it's helping the defense catch up. But the reason why the NFL is mediocre, a lot of people and I think Tom got lost in the weeds when he was explaining why, and it kind of changed the conversation because one of the points that he was making was that you know defenses are not allowed to do anything, and you feel me, and it sounded real back in my day ish. But you can't really say back in my day for Tom Brady because he just retired a year ago, bro. So he
Right.
was able to see the NFL for 20 years. So if anybody knows that is mediocre and knows that the standard has been lowered, it's him. He has the frame of reference to have an accurate opinion. This ain't Terry Bradshaw saying that shit, dog. Like,
Right.
right? But when he started going about how, offensive players should be taught to protect themselves, and I don't agree with the rules, it changed the conversation. So everybody's just started following that cat versus the reality of the situation why the NFL is mediocre now. And this goes back to 2011 when we had the NFL strike. And the biggest issue that is plaguing the NFL now is that there are too many young players playing football right now. There are no veterans. And the reason why there are no veterans is because of that 2011 CBA. One of the biggest issues that the veteran players at the time had with the NFL was the draft and how a rookie could come in and immediately be the highest paid at that position. Remember, Sam Bradford came into the league and immediately got a $50 million contract, which made him the
Yes, sir.
quarterback. The veterans took exception to that because they're like, yo, these dudes should not be getting paid more than me. Hell no, nah, F that. So, because of that, we had the rookie wage scale. And I remember on one show or something where somebody at the time who was an NFLPA was saying that somebody in the NFLPA used to always tell the veterans, like, bro, don't worry about what the rookies are making. Stop pocket watching. Because when they come in and make that kind of bread, it raises the floor every single time. So you guys are going to get more money behind that. You just got to be patient.
Right.
Veterans wasn't trying to hear that. Rookie wage scale. Now they're like, yeah, they should be slotted. They should make this amount of money. But the adverse is, okay, I have a 30-year-old linebacker who's making $5 million, or I could have a 20-year-old linebacker make $500,000 at the same position. So who I'm gonna get? Who I'm gonna keep?
They signed their own death warrants, man.
Find their own death warrant. So
Yep.
now you have lower class and high class. There is no middle class. Just like the world that we live in. There is the 1%, there is the people that are broke, and there is no middle class. The same thing that we're experiencing in our own lives is the same thing that's going on in the NFL. So you have the 2 or 3 guys that make a lot of money, and then you have a young football team that surrounds that. A lot of people that are not good at football. A lot of people who are not properly developed. There's a lot of development that's not going on. There's not the same amount of time that's for coaching. There's not the same amount of time to teach technique. Like, these dudes don't even practice with pads anymore. So
Yes, sir. That's why the product is suffering, man. Just a little bit.
like coaching and development is non-existent in the NFL. So we're at a point where that's the real reason why it's mediocre. There are not a lot of good football players on the field, especially on the offensive line, which takes a lot of coaching, on the defensive line, which takes a lot of coaching, the linebackers, which takes a lot of coaching, and cornerbacks, which takes a lot of coaching. So you have a bunch of cheap players who are going to get cycled out in 2 to 3 years because there's always going to be new cheap players. I don't have to give you a contract unless I truly believe in you. There are 2 people that get contracts now. A high draft pick because you don't want to lose out on an investment, or a player that's actually good.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
There is no real second contract for a veteran player now because I could just get your much cheaper replacement and get 80% of what you provide me for 70% of the cost. So that is the real reason why we are getting a lot of mediocre NFL play, because at the end of the day, there's just not that many good football players on a field right now. And it is really highlighted by the offensive line position, the quarterback position, and the cornerback position, bro. So, and that is the three most important positions in the league right now. So that's my closing thought. I just wanted to go ahead and get that soliloquy, man.
Brilliant point, Herb. I mean, it's when you put it like that, it kind of makes me think back to everything, and it's just like, God damn, dog. Like this shit started a long time ago, but we're now finally we're seeing it now.
We're seeing it now, bro. This is the fruits. This goes back 10 years, bro. Like it, I really thought about it, and it goes back to that time, man. So, we'll go ahead and end on that point, man. Any last words, my boy?
Shit, man. I'm ready for another week of Dolphins football. We go to the Washington Commandos, who I actually think that game's gonna be I think that's gonna be a fun game, despite how bad that Washington's looked the past couple of weeks. They've had a good offense most of the season, and I just have a feeling we're gonna have a little shootout between these two offenses, man. I'm hoping for it. I want a fun game, you know. But other than that, Herbie, I'm just looking forward to the next week, man.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that one, dog. Like, you guys should win, but I just want fun football, man. Like,
that's it.
Like, dog, this is the least amount I've watched football in my life, dog. Like, it's some bad football out there, bro. It's some bad dope, man. It's getting ugly, dog. For sure, man. All right, with that, man, we'll see y'all next week. Deuces.